Hey, what's up folks? Prepared Survivalist here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up a ridgeline, and this will be for like a tarp setup for shelter or for a fly if you're putting it over a hammock. Or it's pretty universal, you can use it for anything that just requires a taut line between two trees or two objects. So for my tarp I'm using a repurposed shower curtain, and what I like about these is it's thick rubber, thick plastic, and it's got grommets built into it already. And I've even made some makeshift grommets on the other side with some key rings and duct tape so I can stake those down. Okay, so you can let that go for a second, and then we'll just come over to our rope, just using some bright orange 550 cord. And there's a lot of different videos out there on how to tie ridge lines. I've tried to come up with what I consider the easiest way, so it doesn't involve any knots that are difficult to untie, and it's the least amount of work, allow you to have a quick takedown. So you've probably seen some of these before, and I've probably got some stuff in here that you may not have seen, but starting out we're just going to do a Siberian hitch. So we put our tag end over the object. Whether it's a horizontal limb or vertical, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of the same thing. So if you already know how to do this knot, that's fine. I'll just go over it again. So you come over the limb, and you just keep wrapping it. I go around twice. You keep those all parallel to each other. So you go around twice. 1, 2. I just use 3 fingers. Come over the top of the standing end, pinch the tag end, and then I actually pull it back to me. Okay? And as I'm pulling it, I'm setting the knot so it's nice and clean looking. I don't have ends of the rope, the line tangled or anything. I can get it just how I want it. I can adjust my bite size, set that knot, and then all I got to do is just pull it through, secure it. And this will want to turn on you a little bit, and that's fine. Just press it into there, and that's a tensioning knot, so that shouldn't come undone. The only way it's going to come undone is if you pull this tag end, and it'll be a quick release. So that's why I choose that knot as opposed to like a bow line and weaving the tag end through a hole. It's just quicker. And the only reason that takes that long is just because I'm doing an instructional video. Otherwise I would put that knot up in no time. Okay, this next part, you kind of want to determine where your tarp is going to begin. Now this particular setup, it's not adjustable. Like if you had a prusik loop and you can pull your tarp along it, and I don't really understand that anyways, because why are you going to need to move your tarp over 6 inches? I mean, you just set it up and that's where it's at. You've already cleared your area, you know where it's going, so it doesn't really matter if you can adjust your tarp or not. And again, this is just for purposes of being fast and efficient. So I'm actually going to come to about here. We have a pretty long expanse between the 2 trees I'm tying this off on. We're going to do a Marline spike hitch, which is basically a slip knot. So you just pinch a loop in there, give it a half twist, come back through. That's a slip knot. And then basically you'll go like that, and you put a toggle in there. But before you tighten that, you got your loop, just feed it through your grommet, and then any stick off the ground. This is really the only thing extra that you need for this, is just a stick, preferably a smooth one so it can pull out easy, and that makes your toggle. And now your tarp is hooked in there. Alright, so we come down here. Okay, I know where that's gonna go approximately now. I brought out too much cord, so it's kind of tangled a little. All right, so we want to pull this tight, get an approximate measure of what we're tying on here to this little nub. Again, you could go around the tree, but if you tie onto here, it's less rope. So, and you have that versatility with these knots that you can tie it on whatever you want. You just need a little bit of something for it to hold on to. So I usually come out about 18 inches, and I'll make another slip knot the same way. Okay, like that. Just kind of hold on to that and then pull it towards this tree. And then this is where I really crank this. And bring our tag end through that slip knot we created. Just go ahead and pull that through. Okay. And then we're just making a trucker's hitch here. So we pull back against that. Get this thing really super taut. Take our tag end and go over and then back through this loop. And you can pinch that however you want to do it. And again, this is a quick release knot, so we've got this loop here, which is adjustable in size. There's a reason for that. Okay, so now we have our ridgeline established. And then we're just going to grab our other end of the tarp. Got a little close to this tree, but it really doesn't matter. So, actually as close to that tie off to the grommet as possible is probably the best. Don't want it right up on it, but we're pretty much perfect here. So now we can take that loop, pull it through the same way, pull it back, and then make another trucker's hitch again. Same principle, except now we got a double instead of a single line. Okay. And it's kind of cinching against the other knot that was in there. Pull that tight. And that's really not going to come undone. I mean, you can always put another half hitch in there or something if you want to take all this slack and do something like this. Put another truckers in there just to keep that all together. So that's fine. And then if you have extra rope, it's no problem. It's better to have too much than too little. This part's pretty self-explanatory. I actually don't have enough room here the way I set this up, but you would basically just come out here, take a stick from off the ground, put it through your grommet, of course it's a little piddly stick here. Not working good. Alright, why isn't it going in the ground? So something like that. Stake it down. Like I said, I'm not going to bother with that, but what I'm really wanting to show is how to do the ridgeline itself. Okay, so this would be just your basic kind of setup where you're going off one side. Now you can run that tarp over the middle. You would want to turn it a quarter turn so that you have a typical A-frame type shelter. And that's what's nice about this type of design is you have versatility. So if you had tie outs and stuff and pre-done loop bites on your tarp, you may not have them in the right place because you may want to do a different shelter depending on the weather or the wind or conditions. But with this type of setup, you can run these toggles and these bites through any grommet that you have. So it's pretty universal as far as that goes. Now here's the best part. So for a takedown, now again I put that extra hitch in there, so this is typically where you'd be to start. So takedown is real simple. You just find your loose end, which is right here, pull it, that comes undone. Okay, pull this end, that comes undone. Normally you're not going to have this much slack. Pull this one, that comes undone. Pull our toggle out, that comes undone. And then just pull our tag end. And now our ridgeline is down. And then if you want to just take your rope up, I take the tag end, put it between my middle fingers, leave about 6 inches, and then just go over the thumb, pinky, and just do a figure 8 style wrap, like this. And then you can just wrap it around a couple times however you want. You don't have to get too fancy with that. So now you have a nice hank, and this is also quick release. You just pull on that end and it comes undone easy again. Won't be tangled up. So you can see that takedown is maybe 30 seconds total. And then you're just left with your tarp on the ground and you just fold that up and you're ready to go. So you're not sitting there fiddling with knots, trying to untie them. It's real quick. And like I was saying earlier, the only reason it took this long is just because, you know, I'm showing you. I could set this up in 60 seconds, no problem. So that's it on setting up a ridgeline, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.